if you don't do your application very well for postgraduate work
Mhm.
permit, of course you won't get a stay back. But
Yeah.
it's more like an assured pathway to becoming a PR.
Childcare benefits. Like, are you receiving childcare benefits?
I'm not receiving childcare benefits yet, but it is a good idea for you to come and study here because, like you said, you will have that edge of Canadian.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. My name is Oluwabuseremi A, and I film content from Ontario, Canada. So, in today's video, we have a special guest on our channel, Ebon. Welcome to our special channel, our
Okay.
YouTube channel, for honoring our invite. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about schooling in Canada, the process and benefit of schooling in Canada. So we have everyone on this channel today, and she'll be sharing her own personal experience, what she had to do through her application process, and even when she landed in Canada as an international student. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to be asking you few questions, and then you
Okay.
just tell us based on your own personal experience. Disclaimer, this is just going to
Okay.
be on Ebon's personal experience, so please, anything that we talk about in today's video is based on Ebon's personal experience. Okay. And if this is the video you want to watch, stick around, stay back,
Don't touch the
subscribe,
dial.
don't go anywhere. Video, and let's get right into
Yeah.
today's video. So the first question I'll be asking you today is going to be about the application process.
Okay.
Do you mind just walking us through, just giving us summary of when you started the application and the timeline?
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started my application in January 2022 and I landed in Canada and started my study in January 2023. So that's
Now
basically
that
1 year.
1 year.
Yes. So first of all, I knew the province I wanted to go to, Ontario, because I had family here. But then I knew I didn't want to do GMAT.
Mhm.
So I wanted, of course, it was a master's program, but I was not ready to write any exams whatsoever. So my first point of call was to look for schools that would not request GMAT or IELTS or whatever from me.
Mhm.
And I think I was only able to find two schools offering the program I wanted and were not requesting for GMAT. So I applied to the two schools and I got admission from one and refusal from one. So of course I'm in the school that gave me an admission.
Mhm.
So when you ask about the application process, different schools have different requirements. I got so lucky. So one of the schools which I'm in now, I think the only thing I was required to do was to submit my transcript, official transcript.
Okay.
Was it even official transcript? I think it was even unofficial transcript, really.
Wow.
Yeah, but the other school I applied to that refused me, I had to submit a written paper. So I used one of my project works. I had to
Mhm.
submit a written chapter. I had to submit a degree confirmation. They wanted me to submit letter of English proficiency. So it's either you write IELTS or you submit a letter saying that your undergrad was delivered in English. So I
English.
had to get that letter from my school. Yes, and I think transcripts, official transcripts from the get-go. So
Mhm.
they stressed me the whole lot. And even references. I had to
From
do,
school as well, right?
yes, I did one reference from school and one professional. So one academic, one professional reference for
Okay.
that school. But at the end of the day, they didn't give me admission. No problems. But my point is the school admission requirements vary from school to school.
Mm-hmm.
So for my school currently, I don't know, it might have changed, but at the time in which I applied, it was only unofficial transcript and IELTS. But Nigeria was exempted from submitting IELTS, so I only submitted official transcripts.
Okay, so assuming it was like other country, you would have to write IELTS.
Yes, you may have to write IELTS. You
Okay, and
may.
also submit an unofficial transcript, right?
Okay, so that's the thing. So it depends. One of the school asked for unofficial transcript. So at the point in which they gave me an admission, official transcript was a requirement. So I needed to provide official transcript, before registering for classes. But for
Okay.
them to process my admission, I submitted an unofficial transcript.
Oh,
That's if you have a copy of your transcript, you can use it. So
mhm.
when at the point after they gave me admission, I had to now tell my university to send directly to the school. That is the official
The
transcript.
official transcript.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and the application process was roughly 12 months from 2022 to
No.
2023.
Okay, no, I missed that. Sorry. I applied in January 2023. I got my admission, I think, in March 2020. Sorry. I applied in January 2022.
Mhm.
I got admission in March 2022.
Wow, that's like 2 months.
Yes, yes. But don't be like me, please. I don't know. People are relocating a lot now.
Yeah.
So you might have to start doing your assignments a year before. Because for instance, I wanted to come in September 2022, but it
Mm-hmm.
was already full for my program. So that
Yeah.
was why I went for January 2023.
Okay, so you applied for the next winter
Yes.
class, right?
Yes.
And then you also applied like,
A
okay,
year
let
a
me put it
year
like,
ahead of time.
you applied during winter for the next winter
Winter.
class.
Exactly. So I applied a year ahead of yeah. So I got my admission in March 2022. Then I applied for my visa, I think in July, and then I got my visa in September. And I
September.
landed in November and I started class in January.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
So
I think that was pretty fast compared to like, I really don't know though, but I think it's pretty fast compared to like other people that like apply for school. Because I like there's one of my friend that was telling me that like he had to wait for like maybe 6 months before he got feedback
feedback.
from the school. So I think it depends on the school as well.
I think it depends on the school, it depends on the program.
Okay.
So there are some programs that there's a influx of students, a lot of applications. So it depends on the program, it depends on the school.
And I also want to confirm, like, must you apply for a program that is related to your degree program?
Not necessarily, but it's advisable. Okay, so for instance, my undergraduate degree is in English language, but I'm currently doing a Master of Management with specialization in HRM, which is Human Resource Management. I don't know if they're related, but I don't really think they're related. But I needed to prove, that it made sense to everybody
Yes.
because when you're applying for your visa,
Mhm.
the immigration officer needs to be convinced as to why you're taking this
Now,
program. If you cannot defend it, it's a reason for refusal. So you need to be able to make them understand why you're going for this program. For me personally, I've always had interest in HR, and I
mm,
have 6 months experience in HR. I did HR before my first main job.
yeah,
I was a graduate trainee in HR department. So in my letter of explanation, I tied everything together. I explained the importance of managing people and how it is relevant in the workplace. And having had over 6 years or how many years work experience,
managing people exactly.
it was easy to relate everything together. So my advice is whatever program you're coming in to study, make sure you are able to either tie it to your undergrad or tie it to your work experience or tie it to what you want to do in the future. It just has to be, reasonable.
Just yeah, you just have to like make it make sense to people
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense, and yeah,
Okay.
based on the documents required, I think you already mentioned transcript and IELTS was exempted, but some schools might still request that you provide
Yes.
provide IELTS results.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. And just to confirm, because there are some people that I watch on YouTube that are currently studying in Canada, and then there's one particular lady that was like, oh, that it's possible to actually work and pay your school fees
Okay.
in Canada. I just want to like confirm, based on your own experience so far, do you think is feasible or is it possible to work and pay your tuition in Canada as an international student?
It's dicey, but I won't advise it. I won't advise it because we need to be realistic with ourselves. The school fees is not cheap,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the school, but I don't think it's cheap. And I mean, what's the assurance that you're going to get a job immediately? And here you pay. Okay, for instance, my school, you pay school fees every term, which is like every 3 to 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, no one will guarantee you that immediately you land in Canada, you get a job. And apart from school fees, you have living expense to think of. You have your rent, you have your feeding expense, you have some books they'll tell you to buy. Like, it's a whole lot. So personally, I would not advise that you rely on the job you're doing to pay your school fees. It's okay if you come in and work and you're able to add it up to your expenses here.
That's it. Yeah.
But I would not recommend that you rely on coming here to work to pay your school fees.
Wow. Okay. So I think it's just better to have it at the back of your mind that if you want to, school abroad or like school in Canada, just have that portion of your school fees saved, and then anything you get here, you can just use that for your living expenses and
Yeah, correct.
all that. And also, I just want to confirm, like, why did you choose Canada? Because, yeah, based on your story, I think your process was like very fast. But I know if you are like, if you wanted to go to like UK, I'm sure it would have been like faster compared to like the application process and everything. And then when you landed, but why did you choose Canada? Why not UK, US, or any other country?
Considering that Canada is even far.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so I have family in Canada, but apart from that, I think the principal thing was getting a stay, getting the PR. I think is more realistic in Canada. I know that when I'm done with school, I have access to postgraduate work permits. Once I do that, I can easily apply for residency. When I do that, having lived up to a number of years, I
Yeah.
can apply for citizenship. So, like, I feel like it's a clearer and a more realistic pathway compared to the UK. I don't want to start looking for who is going to give me paper. Anything, Busayo. I had already looked for schools in the UK because Canada wasn't like Canada will teach you patience.
Yes, it's
I was already getting that. I had, and in fact, I'd almost submitted my application for UK, but I think also I considered the cost of funds. So that was also at the back of my mind. If I'm going to have to move my monies at the black market rates.
the value at the end of the day.
Yeah. So, but I think at the top of my list would have been getting a stay after school. I think Canada has a more defined and more realistic compared to any other school. I mean, compared to any other.
Country. Yeah, I think that's good, and also like having to consider other benefit that comes with it, like definitely when you become PR, you have more benefits to enjoy and all that. So I think it actually makes sense. And also, I just want to know, like, currently as an international student, do you have any benefits that you are enjoying currently?
Oh yeah, there's once you file for your tax, there's the some monies you get back like the GST, Ontario Trillium. I think depends on your province, right? But yes, I got some of those benefits, and also I have a son. I'm here with my son, 2 years old, and I have to put him in a daycare. And I was lucky enough to be a part of the subsidy. So the the daycare was, no, is it daily? I'm not sure, but I get charged monthly. But when I landed in January, they had reduced the daily rates. So I was also able to benefit from that. But I think there's a childcare benefit that you're entitled to once you have lived in Canada for up to 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
So as now I'm not getting that until because I've not lived up to 18 months, right?
Yes,
Yeah, from my 19th month, yes, I can get that for my son. But aside that, GST, HST, every other thing.
it's sure.
So Carry, so I can tell you that it's
Do you have any advice for someone that wants to, study in Canada? Like any word of wisdom?
number one, they should just come. When you see that question, the answer to that question is if you are sure it is Canada, just come. Okay, so now let's be real. I'm not going to promise you that it's going to be a bed of roses. It's not going to be. But I will encourage you. I think coming from Nigeria, I think you succeed in terms of okay, so let me be real. It's not going to be easy, oh, but you do well. Because the way classes are designed here, you have more opportunities to make up your figures. So you have assignments, you have quizzes, you have a lot of things. Unlike Nigeria, where you have maybe just midterm and exam. Midterm is maybe 30, exam is 70. Here you might not even have exam. Every
Mhm.
day will be 30. So it's more work, but at the end of the day, you have more opportunities to make up and position yourself to succeed in your courses. So I think you would do well. Now, secondly, it's not easy in terms of you are relocating, you are leaving your comfort zone,
Yeah.
you're coming to a place where you don't know anybody. The culture is different, everything is. So there will be those days that there might be a tendency for you to say, I want to go back home, go home. But when you always remember the big picture,
Mm-hmm.
you can encourage yourself like David and be fine. Also, I would say come because there's cultural diversity. The fact that you are in this international,
Space. Yeah.
yes, you're meeting with people from different culture. You will learn a lot. I'll be honest with you. I'm excited I made this decision because this is my first time schooling outside Nigeria. And
Mm-hmm.
it's mind blowing. There are days I'm tired. I'll do daycare runs, come back home, do assignments. Sometimes I'm just tired, but I would not trade this opportunity for something else. I would rather have it this way. So if there's anybody thinking, considering coming to Canada to study, come. You'll be
Just come and
just come, just pack your things and come.
and
Just come.
experience it.
Just come. Because at the end of the day, the wealth of knowledge is yours forever. The
Mhm.
opportunities that come, they are coming to you once you're done and you need to get it. You have an edge. I think if anybody wants to, if as far as you are sure that is what you want to do, I'll say
Mhm.
go for it. You can.
Get you.
Okay, I said we're encouraging people to do their applications by themselves. I did mine myself. From getting admission to applying for visa, I did everything by myself. And although on the Canada portal, it tells you that letter of explanation is optional, but please put that letter there. That letter typically explains everything, the reason why it explains who you are, what you do, what you want to do, your proof of funds, your
Mm-hmm.
ties in Canada, if you have any, your ties in Nigeria. Of course, you tell them
And then you tell them that you're coming back to Nigeria because that's what
you
they
don't
want
want to
to
come
hear.
back. We're coming back to come and make Nigeria a better place.
Yes, so you have to prove it that you're coming back to Nigeria after
Yes,
your
yes.
program.
But there are a lot of Telegram channels just to encourage anybody that wants to, do the application by themselves. There are a lot of Telegram channels where you can get people's experiences, people's opinions. It really helped me. It really, really helped me. So, to wrap up, one more
Yeah.
thing. I don't know if you have, like, I don't know if there are people who intend to come with their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Just as you are applying for your admission, it will be good to, for instance, if you have children under the age of 4, for children under the age of 4, they have to go to childcare, not school. School starts at 4. So if you're coming alone, which I don't really advise, if your husband can come with you or that's better. But should in case your application is just you and a child, I would advise that the moment in which you apply for admission and you get your admission, start looking for a daycare because you
From
need yeah,
Nigeria, right?
because you need to attach as it's part of the things you need to attach to your visa application. And also daycare here, they get full very fast. So for instance, I came in January, right, and I applied immediately. I got my admission and I still even didn't get a spot for him. It was on waitlist till I landed. You can
Wow.
imagine. Yeah, so imagine if I did not apply immediately after I got my admission.
Mhm.
I'll probably have been stranded. And classes started in person. Classes are in person. So I just remembered, I'm like, oh, let me just say that. So just in case, if you're coming with a baby or a child under the age of 4 and you're considering daycare, the moment you get your admission, please just start looking for daycare and waitlist your child so that you start.
Yeah, that will be like, definitely you already know where you're landing, so you look for apartment as well as
Oh,
getting in case you
the
don't have anybody here to stay with.
point is very valid. If you're coming like daycare, anything that would daycare house, please just start on time. But for that daycare, you need to, at least get an admission first so that you know where you're going to
Mm-hmm.
put your child. For me, my house is very close to school and is very close to daycare. So I walk to school and everything in like 15 minutes. I'm in school in 5 minutes. From my school to the daycare is another 5 minutes. So it was strategic for me. And I think if you want your sanity, those are the things
Just consider that.
should go for. Yes, it's not, like I said, it's not going to be very easy, but
Mm-hmm.
I tell myself is, if A can do it, I can do it too. And then, I mean, the end goal, just there's something you're chasing.
Thank you so
Encourage
much for
yourself.
coming to grace our channel today, and thanks for sharing your experience with us. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you again. And guys, I'm going to leave Ebu's channel, Ebu's YouTube link in the
Just set me up.
description. Go and subscribe and encourage her as well. And
Thank
thank you so
you.
much, Ebu.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So I can.
Okay, welcome back to my YouTube guy.
Bloppers of life.
Another guest on our channel, my very special boss.
Oh, your boss. Don't say boss. I'll disown you.